Hey everybody, Summy here. What we're going to do today is set a window using a barrier method, and this is a method that is widely accepted throughout California, particularly Southern and Northern California, because this is a bulletproof window installation method. We're calling this, it's AAMA Method B. It's going to be expecting grade D building paper to be applied after the windows installed, so it's not a Tyvek use. It's more of a West Coast, Southern California, Northern California B method of installation where the envelope is applied after the windows get set. We're going to use what's called a buttered sealant application, and I'm going to show you an alternative to hold the head flashing up. Some of our clients like the head flashing held up for an inspection. And it has to do with, if you have third-party inspectors, they may want to inspect that the top nail fin has sealant. And if you have a builder that wants that, we'll show you how to do that. If you have a builder that doesn't want to do that, they want to glue the flashing to the top of the window, we're going to show you how to do that as well. And we'll show you how those inspectors are going to check the top of the window. Because the last thing you want is a third-party inspector coming in after your window's set and ripping your top head flashing off because he thinks he feels with his finger the top nail fin. Remember that all four sides of the nail fin should have sealant treatment the same. You know, before the head flashing is applied, all four sides of the nail fin should have plenty of sealant and a cap bead of sealant that's buttered nice and flat, and then the top flashing gets applied. So the top nail fin should not be treated any differently than the sides and the bottom nail fins. Now, some builders are going to want to inspect that top nail fin, others are not. And we're going to show you how to handle both cases right now. So anyway, hope you enjoy it. We're going to do this right now, and we'll see you out there. Hey everybody, here's what we're going to do. We're going to install a window into this little rough opening. This is a mock-up wall assembly, but it's representative of the kind of situations we have here in Southern California. In fact, this is ubiquitous throughout the West Coast. This is a 2x4 wall. It's got OSB, and you see this just about everywhere. What we're going to do is install a window into this opening using an AAMA Method B barrier method. This is a barrier method of window installation. The most important detail to get correct is the rough opening. If you don't have a correctly prepared rough opening, I want you to not install the window. Okay? If you don't have a correctly prepared rough opening, please don't install the window. The rough opening should be half an inch greater in width and height than the net frame size of the window. Okay. The correct flashing dimension for the lower flashing is 2 times the dimension of the flashing plus the net rough opening size. You apply your lower flashing in anticipation of later subsequent building material being tucked up underneath it, so you do not put staples any lower than that edge of the rough opening. Your side flashing is applied. Now this is using a high quality nail-on flashing material. You can staple the outside edge of the side flashing because the black paper or the envelope will later be layered over the top of this flashing. On the lower rung of flashing though, the envelope is going to be tucked up underneath it. We've held the side flashing up about half an inch. That's to keep within AAMA standards. Do I think that's the most important detail in the world? No. But I want you guys to know that your side flashing should be held about half an inch higher than your lower flashing. Now, for any of you who've watched our videos, you know that we believe the magic to a window installation is correctly applying your sealant. Now, what Percy's doing here is he's applying a nice fat half-inch to 5/8 inch bead of sealant to the outboard edge of that nail fin. This sealant application is absolutely perfect. This is what you want to do. Now the reason you want your sealant to look like this is because you're going to get squeeze out. Now I want you to notice how Percy's holding his sealant gun. He's got a 45-degree angle. Do not come straight down on top of the window nail fin with the nose of your gun, because you won't get a nice plump bead of sealant like this one is. See, that is absolutely perfect. That's what you want. Now I would always set the lower part of your window in first, and then tilt it into place, whether it's a small window or a big window. That's going to be important. Place, what you'll notice is there's plenty of squeeze out. And as Percy applies this fastener, you're going to really see the squeeze out jump out at you. If your squeeze out doesn't look like this, then you have not used enough sealant, or you have not positioned it towards the outboard edge of your nail fin. Now what we like to do is get a screw in one of the lower corners, check for level, then get your other corner in, keeping screws 3 inches away from the corner of the nail fin. When we know we're level, now we're going to get it nice and plumb. And once our inside guy tells us we're plumb, we're going to put another screw in. Okay, now we use screws. We like screws, but you don't have to use screws. If you want to use nails, use nails. The only thing we'd say is I wouldn't hand nail them because errant hammer strikes can really be rough. Also, we do use fasteners on the top nail fin. There's some old urban legends out there that says don't screw or fasten the top nail fin because when the building settles, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell you not to worry about that. You use fasteners on all 4 sides. If you're going to use screws, you need to use an exterior grade screw. It needs to be 1.5 inches long. We're using gold deck screws. Here's the deal, just don't use drywall screws. Don't use an interior screw. Use an exterior screw. It can be a Galvy or it can be a gold deck screw. You can use a panhead screw. As long as it's for exterior use, it's going to be fine. Now that we've got our window in, you may think this is enough sealant. You would be wrong. We put a cap bead of sealant on top of this. Now there are a couple of reasons for this. One of them is we want to have somebody look at this nail fin. Particularly vinyl windows can have cracks in the nail fin. Somebody putting sealant on top of the nail fin like this is an extra set of eyes making sure there's no damage to the window. Okay, now what my guys do, Epi and Percy, is they take their little putty knife and they radius the corners. Now that might seem like a small thing, but it's really not. It's easy to do. You take it on concrete, you can scrape it on concrete, or you can use a grinder. But as you now apply sealant, or you butter your sealant flat, this will get your sealant to kick up against the edge of the window really nicely and give you a much better finished application of sealant. Okay, what we're going to do is butter this sealant nice and flat, and the reason for this is it just makes the possibility that this window installation could leak zero. There's no chance that this window installation can leak. When people say they want a bulletproof method of window installation, this is it. Now, someone might think that this is too much sealant. They would be wrong. What this does is it protects the window from subsequent tradesmen who might damage our window. Think about the lath and plaster guy. How many lath fasteners could go through this nail fin? Think about siding. If you're gonna picture frame this window with wood siding, those nails go through the nail fin. Now it's time for the top flashing. I need you to write this number down and remember it. Have it available to you when it's time to take the final exam.